BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey, I'm Sam, I'm your Thursday guide for BodyBags, and this week I am doing Truth or Dare 2017. This is my pick for incarnational and cheap. And here's the thing. There's a couple things to say, I guess, before I get to why I picked this movie, so let me tell you what it's about. So there's this group of teens, you know, classic stereotype, in like the early 80s, and they play Truth or Dare, and like all of them die except for one, and it's kind of like, weird, something spiritual going on, ooh, kind of strange stuff going on, but like, you know, it's kind of like unknown if the last person you see before it cuts to present day is still alive or not, right? And now you have a new group of teens, modern day, that kind of go back to the place because, you know, after 30-40 years it kind of turns into a legend, right? It's like, oh, the scary house, you don't want to go there. And they stayed the night there and, you know, play Truth or Dare, and then weird stuff starts happening, and the entire movie doesn't take place there, but it, for like the first half of the movie it does though, so kind of, right, I guess. But here's the thing. In 2018, Blumhouse came out with Truth or Dare, except it's not this Truth or Dare. You see, Blumhouse Truth or Dare has like a white kind of poster, I guess you could say, and then this one has a black background. Plus, it looks different, so I mean, come on. But the idea is that I forget if this started here or there, but I remember a long time ago, I went to, you know, with Dad or whatever, we would go to Walmart, go shopping with him, and we would stop by the movies, and, you know, I would kind of know that, oh, there's this big movie coming out. Why are there like 2 or 3 different, like, it seems rip-offs of those kind of thing? And I didn't really understand at the time. For instance, either when The Meg came out, or when In the Heart of the Sea came out, there were like Moby Dick movies that came out like around the time that came out as like cheap whatever movies. But I would say that this movie, this Truth or Dare, is like that, except it came out like a year before. But the reason why I'm saying this is well, it's a sci-fi movie, and usually a movie takes about 2, 3, maybe 4 years to make. But like the idea of a movie is usually about 4 years beforehand, so like my guess is that sci-fi was like, oh, so Blumhouse is making a Truth or Dare movie, we gotta make our own version of it, because I mean, you take those 2 movies and there's a lot of similarities, but it would be weird to say it's the other way around, and that the Blumhouse movie was the cheaper incarnational ripoff, because it's not. I guarantee you, without really looking right now, I guarantee you that Blumhouse made more money off theirs than SYFY made off of theirs. So that's why I say it's that, because it came out around the same time. It was about a year, or maybe less before, but it's the same kind of movie, just slightly different. I say slightly, it's a lot different, but it's still Truth or Dare, and it's still a supernatural entity of some sort. But the one thing about this movie that I thought was like really interesting, because you don't really see it that often, I guess, is that you take like a small movie or a small idea, and you get like a bunch of nobodies, or at least really small actors, to be in the movie, and then they end up branching off doing bigger stuff or whatnot. So for instance, I might just honestly forget names. So Cassandra Scerbo, she plays one of everyone I'm gonna mention is one of the main teens, modern day teens. Cassandra Scerbo ends up, or maybe actually beforehand, but ends up being in this movie. she was in 2 of the Sharknado movies, so I mean, it's another sci-fi movie. Maybe that's why she's in it. Mason Dye wasn't really in much, but lately he was in Stranger Things as the jock in the last season. The blonde-haired jock that's kind of like a douchebag the entire season. But like, it's interesting, you know, seeing, not given that, you know, this movie came out like 4 years ago, but like already seeing like actors already kind of progressing up places. Like Luke Baines, he ends up, I think it's called The Bunker, but it's a new thriller horror movie. I think this or next year. Maybe it's already out. I don't remember. But I remember seeing trailers and stuff for it and thinking, yeah, that looks pretty good. Could be pretty interesting. But, in the end of the day, this movie, it's not the worst movie ever. And honestly, knowing what Blumhouse Truth or Dare is, because I've never seen it, but I know how the movie goes and the storyline. I think I like this version better. Because that version, the thing is that, yeah, it's interesting because it's like, you know, it's like in Blumhouse's version, the Truth or Dare kind of works like a keep it or double for the next person kind of thing. Except it's not double, it's like, you know, you keep it or you get other people involved, and that's how you escape. In which the plot twist at the end of the Blumhouse movie I just hate, because it's like, oh my god, I can't believe you just, I mean, I get it, but I can't believe you just did that, because that's such a bum move. But this movie felt a lot more real, I guess, than that movie feels. Plus, you know, that movie also has, like, you know, stereotypes in it. Now, there's stereotypes in this, but there's also stereotypes in that. And I don't like the stereotypes in that, so, but, in the end of the day, Truth or Dare, 2017, not that bad of a movie, pretty solid sci-fi movie, which always, not surprises, but when I think of sci-fi, I think of cheesy, fun movies to watch. This was not a fun movie to watch. Very interesting, but it was not a fun movie to watch. With the kills and some of the things people have to do, because I guess in the end of the day, I hate, I guess, torture movies. Like, so I hate Saw. I hate those kind of movies, and Truth or Dare is like a torture movie. It's either you're dying or you're cutting your hand off kind of thing. It's like, dude, come on. Like, man. I hate that stuff, honestly. But for what it is, I think it's a good movie. Kind of like how I hate Audition. Man, because of the ending. Like, if the movie was just like, if it was itself except for the last 15 minutes, unless it was all a dream kind of thing, or like the bad stuff that happens at the end of the movie is just a dream, then it's like, okay, whew, close. But like, this isn't a dream. It's like, it's a tall man playing like, no, it's not. But anyways, I'm Sam. I'm your Thursday guy for BodyBags. I did Truth or Dare, and if I had to rate this movie right now, I'd probably give it a 6.9. You know, it's not terrible. It's not the worst thing ever, right? But it's not my type of film, not my type of movie. But I'll see you next week. Goodbye.